In the midst of conflict, people reveal both their darkest and most compassionate sides. This collection of stories dives into the incredible experiences of those caught in the chaos of war. From enemies who become friends to remarkable acts of survival, these tales show how the human spirit can endure and how hope can shine through even in the toughest times. Enemies in the sandstorm. Corporal Ahmed, a seasoned veteran of the Egyptian army, and Private Ivan, a young recruit from the Israeli Defense Forces, were sworn enemies. Their countries had been locked in a bitter conflict since the 1967 Six-Day War. Ahmed, a master of guerrilla tactics in the Sinai Desert, and Ivan, a seasoned soldier from the mountainous regions of the Golan Heights, found themselves stranded together during a fierce sandstorm in the Negev Desert. Despite their deep-seated animosity, the harsh conditions forced them to set aside their differences and work together for survival. Ahmed shared his knowledge of desert navigation, while Ivan taught him about survival techniques in extreme climates. As days turned into weeks, their bond deepened, revealing surprising similarities between their lives and experiences. One evening, as they huddled around a campfire, Ivan confessed his fear of dying. Ahmed, drawing from his own experiences in the war, assured him that they would survive. He recounted a harrowing tale of being lost in the desert during the Yom Kippur War, only to be rescued by a Bedouin tribe. Inspired by Ahmed's story, Ivan vowed to never give up. Together they continued their journey, their spirits buoyed by their newfound camaraderie. Eventually, they stumbled upon a small oasis where they were found by a group of nomadic Bedouin. With their help, they were able to make their way back to their respective lines. When they parted ways, Ahmed and Ivan did so with a newfound respect for each other. Their story became a legend, a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity and the power of compassion, even in the face of bitter conflict. The escape that shook the Nazis. In 1942, the Gestapo made a big mistake by setting up a POW camp just for hardcore escapees. They thought this would keep the most determined prisoners in check, but instead, it turned out to be a huge problem for them. By putting all these skilled escape artists together, the Nazis unintentionally made it easier for the prisoners to plan escapes. The prisoners shared their knowledge, made detailed plans, and forged fake documents. They dug 3 escape tunnels, showing their cleverness and persistence. Unfortunately, 2 of the tunnels were never finished due to problems or lack of materials. The 3rd tunnel almost reached safety but ended short of the tree line, leaving the escapees vulnerable to enemy fire. Out of 76 prisoners who made it to the tree line, only 3 escaped successfully. The other 73 were caught and faced severe punishment. Hitler ordered the execution of 50 escapees to scare other prisoners from trying to escape. This brutal act spread fear throughout the camp and beyond. Despite the grim outcome, the escape had a big impact. The Gestapo had to use many resources to catch the escapees, which distracted them from other tasks. The escape also lifted the morale of Allied forces, showing the prisoners' bravery and determination. Additionally, the executions angered people worldwide and damaged the Nazi regime's reputation. In the end, the Gestapo's decision to concentrate escapees in one camp backfired. The prisoners, driven by their strong desire for freedom, created clever escape plans that challenged Nazi control. Even though most were caught and executed, their actions had a lasting effect, proving the strong will to survive in extreme conditions. Sergeant James A. Rayleigh's miraculous survival. Sergeant James A. Rayleigh from Henderson, Kentucky, was a tail gunner in the 353rd Bomb Squadron, 301st Bomb Group, 15th Air Force. On January 11, 1944, during a bombing mission to Piraeus, Greece, his B-17 collided midair with another plane in heavy clouds. The tail section was torn off, and Rayleigh was trapped in the wreckage. In a 1944 newspaper interview, Rayleigh described the crash. "When it happened 19,000 feet up, there was a huge impact, and I was thrown face down. The plane started spinning, and I couldn't move to grab my parachute." He prayed during the long, spiraling fall, which lasted about 10 to 15 minutes. When the tail finally landed in a clump of trees, Rayleigh was relieved it hadn't exploded. He managed to escape from the wreckage and found that the rest of the aircraft was gone. 8 of his crew members had died in the accident. Rayleigh had back injuries and a small cut on his chin, but survived. He was awarded an Air Medal and a Bronze Oak Leaf Cluster. Rayleigh continued his military service through the Korean and Vietnam Wars. Reaching the rank of Lieutenant Colonel in the U.S. Air Force, he passed away in 1999. Wim's close calls during Market Garden. In September 1944, the Allied forces launched the biggest airborne operation ever, known as Market Garden, to free Europe from German control. They began with a ground attack from Belgium and an airborne assault from England. Their goal was to capture key bridges in the Netherlands, to advance toward the IJsselmeer, and then to Germany's Ruhr area. The operation kicked off on September 17th, with thousands of Allied paratroopers landing between Eindhoven and Arnhem and southeast of Nijmegen. British troops moved from Belgium toward Grave. In 1944, a 15-year-old seminarian named Wim Boyen lived near Riek. Riek was important for the Allied plan, being a key crossing point for the River Maas near Grave. On the first day of Operation Market Garden, American paratroopers landed near Riek, around Grave, Velp, and Overijssel. Their mission was to capture the Graafse Maas Bridge, now known as the John S. Thompson Bridge. Wim was excited to see the action, and, along with his father and two brothers, cycled to a guardhouse on the Maasdijk in Riek for a better view. But as soon as they peered over the dike, machine gun fire erupted. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but it was just the start of Wim's brushes with danger. The next day, Wim's curiosity about the Allied troops continued. He and a few other villagers headed toward Grave. In Velp, he saw Americans handing out cigarettes, which he desperately wanted. Eager to get closer, Wim and a friend set out but accidentally walked through a minefield. Panic ensued among the American soldiers as they shouted, "Mines, mines!" Wim had mistaken the camouflage oak branches for something else and narrowly escaped death again. On September 19th, a large group of soldiers and military vehicles passed through Zeeland and Riek on their way to Grave. Despite the risks, many locals, including Wim, went to watch the procession at De Kleine Elft in Riek, unaware of the danger. Operation Market Garden eventually failed, but it left Wim and his fellow countrymen with several days of chaos. In Riek, a monument of a guardian angel, created by artist Johan Claassen, stands as a reminder of those turbulent times. For Wim, the near-death experiences felt surreal, as if they never truly happened. He often thanked God, believing that a guardian angel had been watching over him. Eugene P. Moran's brave survival. Eugene P. Moran joined the U.S. Army Air Corps on October 21, 1942, as a staff sergeant in the 339th Bomb Squadron, 96th Bomb Group, 8th Air Force. He was a tail gunner on a B-17 Flying Fortress. On November 29, 1943, during a bombing mission over Bremen, Germany, his plane was hit by German flak and broke apart. Moran, wounded and unable to bail out, fell 24,000 feet. He was stopped when part of the tail hit a tree, causing severe injuries. Out of 10 crew members, Moran was one of 2 survivors. Captured by German soldiers, he was denied medical care until a Serbian POW helped him. For 17 months, he was held in POW camps across Germany, Prussia, and Poland, endured brutal conditions on a hell ship, and survived a 600-mile forced march. Moran was freed on April 26, 1945, by the 104th Infantry Division. He received 2 Purple Hearts, an air medal with gold leaf cluster, and other medals. In 2007, he was honored with Wisconsin's first Veteran Lifetime Achievement Award. Moran passed away in 2014 at age 89. These stories reveal the harsh realities of war, but also the remarkable strength of the human spirit. They showcase people who faced serious dangers and survived against all odds. Until next time, stay safe.